There we go. Should all be working. At least I think it's working. Hopefully it doesn't look terrible, but it should be no different from last time. Okay. Where are we? Adding more projectile parts. With a Gauss rifle now, I think. Which we should have. How many have we got left? Should just be the... We did the phase guns. We did the Trident rockets. I think we've just got the Gauss blaster, so that's pretty good. And then I'll have to check if there's any more parts we're still going to do, but the Gauss rifle. So that's... We've got to check what projectile it uses. Oh, that is loud. It is very loud. What do we want? Gauss rifle. Also, we want to make a... It's the test bot. A dual Gauss blaster. And I'm not using, oops. Gauss blaster. Hope it's not too, damn it, hope it's not too complicated. Okay, so it's like a blue. Yeah, that's simple. Like I said, it's just a blue version of most of the other types of the regular bullet, so I can just make a blue version of that, which is lucky. So back in Unreal, we're going to want projectiles, duplicate, Gauss bullet, there we go, a folder for it. Yeah, and so now all we have to do is somewhere in, I believe it's one of these. It may be that one, maybe the other one. I think it might be this. There we go. Just the bullet. So now I need to make a duplicate of this. We want Gauss bullet. So this one is basically identical but blue. Can we change the color at all? I'm not sure what how this is exactly set up, so it might take a bit of figuring out. Same, we can change the color, but not showing us. That is unfortunate. How does this work? Particle spawn, is this color? No? Not color? It's not initialized particles. What do color? Color. Can I just modify the color? Is that too much to ask? Okay, what actually is being spawned here? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, there's one right here. Stupid. So that just needs to go to blue. So that lightish blue, I think it was. That's simple. And then back at the blueprints for the Gorse bullet, just swap the two Niagara systems out. Swap the two Niagara systems. That's a Gorse bullet. Simple. I don't know why it's a little orange, but hey. Okay, now look. We need the attack. We need the attack blueprints up. And we need to make another copy of this. So what's this firing? This is firing the phase gun, so I need to change the name of that. Then change the name of this. Copy everything. Change the name of this one to Gorse rifle. Is there an E? There's no E. Nope. I can't. How do you spell? Gorse rifle. So I'm gonna flip flop, so you can fire from both arms, and then just attach. Oh, what the? And then just attach this to wherever Gorse rifle is. In G. Alright. Rocket pods, ASMD plasma rifles. Oh, so EOS M2. No. Dual Gorse rifle? What is it? Oh, dual Gorse rifle. So we want to fire Gorse bullet. Gorse bullet. Simple. I'm gonna fix this for whatever bloody reason. Still not sure why that can't just automatically figure itself out, but hey. Okay, now that's all set up there. We need to add in the two sockets to the Gorse rifle model. So in wherever I've put them, dual Gorse blaster. It's not blaster. Why is it rifle? It's blaster. Dual Gorse blaster. Still can't see the speeds setting for here, so that's mildly irritating. Weird, I can't see it until I put down a socket. Alright, so we're going to want to shrink this. The second one. So that should be flashpoint 1 and flashpoint 2. There we go. Oh, that's still getting... Ah, hang on. Attach the two things. And so yeah, so that should be working. Sound. What sound do they make? It's their firing sound. Is that lower? I think it's the same as... What is it? It's not rocket. It's laser 2, I believe, is the lower sort of pew. Maybe. I'll have to figure that out. Because there's four different laser sounds that you can use. That's 4. Laser 4. Which we don't actually have imported. That's... What's that? We'll pull up the flash deacon. We'll quickly export laser 4. Still playing. There we go. Now we can actually add that. Audio, sound effects. Laser 4. And then all we're going to do is assign the stats for it, which is in what stats? There should be one somewhere near here. Dual Gauss replicas, it should be about here. Why has it copied these? I have to reorganize all this. That's going to be fun. See, I've even got it. Oh, is there dual Gauss rifle and dual Gauss blaster? So which one am I doing? Hang on. Do I have that one? Ah. Okay, mine is the blaster, not the rifle. That is good to know. Right. May have to rename some of that, some of those things, but whatever, it should work for now. So go back to dual Gauss blaster. Now, where are the statistics at? Pull them up again. What am I at? That's this, okay. Ranged dual Gauss blaster, here we go. Weight is 4. Price is 80. Health is 20. 0-20. Range of 320. No speed boost. Damage 40. Which is a bit much, but I haven't got. I think it's got dissipation, which I haven't actually implemented, which I probably should. But hey. So that should work. I hope. And dual ghost blasters. I'll fix that shuffling. That's not right. But so what are they not attacking for? Blaster. Is it being set? Oh, hang on. Is it in the menu? Garage UI. Is it arms selection? Is it setting it to rifle? No, it's setting it to blaster. Is it not spawning them? Oh, I've probably got it set to rifle here, haven't I? Yeah, I've got it set to rifle, not blaster. Why is this lagging so much? There we go. And, with any luck, that should be fixed. There we go. Pludunk. So they're pretty stupidly powerful without dissipation. Also, the range and everything's messed up. I might have to add like a multiplier to the range to actually, because these are all much far too close together. But I think that was it. I think that was. It. Which is pretty good. There's some sound effects related stuff which I'm not going to bother doing now because it's quite tedious and doesn't particularly matter at the moment. So that's pretty good. Now onto my personal least favourite part, which is animating. To animate or rig and animate some of the arms parts, which will be fun. Pull up old Blender. It never bloody works. I should have them all. Have the blend files somewhere. My maze of folders. Arms. What do we do? Stormhammer's pretty good. I could probably copy the animation from the industrial hammers for the Stormhammer, actually. That'd be nice if I could do that. Are they rigged? They're not rigged. so I've got to read them. That's not too bad. So read. Armature. One root bone. Doesn't matter if it's small. One root bone in about the center, doesn't really matter. And then the duplicate should be parented to this. And this drops down to about there. Should keep offset so it's nice and straight. And then this is like just two bones, so that comes out like that. There we go. So this should be left. Should be. And this should be upper arm.l. Should be able to symmetrize. It never works for me. So, copying them over it is. There we go. Rigging. So, hello, Crazy Goat Animations. Hello. How's it going? Parent this. To deform. There we go. What R2? I just, you mentioned that last time. I've got no clue what that is. I've got absolutely no clue. And then you disappeared last time, and I never found out. Please don't just mention that again and then disappear. I need to know what R2 IBX is. IBEX is. I need to separate those parts. And then we want this chunk and the bottom chunk. There's a lot of parts. There we go. Where did they, who came up with that? I don't remember that concept. Hang on, I'll search it. IBEX. Oh yeah, I remember the unyielding motor. I remember, yes, that's no, it was Industrial Shark. Is the guy that came up with it. Yes, unyielding motor. That's actually a pretty good idea for a status effect or whatever they call it, ability. I haven't designed. I haven't. I think what you asked last time. I haven't designed it yet. I haven't designed anything for it. I'm not actually too sure what an R2 Ibex is supposed to even look like. Server profile name. Oh, has he got a different? Is that only the server profile? Is that not the actual? Hang on. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I didn't realize that. I wonder why it's specifically that on Discord. Probably specific. Oh, well, you could have told me last stream. There we go. Now, repaint. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying, is that I'm not entirely sure how that's supposed to look. Is Control Tab back into... Yeah, I figured it might be something to do with the Outlander. So I imagine a wheeled, like one with wheels, probably. As for what it's supposed to actually look like, not particularly sure. Oh, God's sake, it's bloody confusing. And how do I do this? Base maps, novels, it's... Here we go. So we want to assign that. There we go. And then for the next thing here, we're going to want to do the same. Stop selected. There we go. Okay, that's actually being quite quick about it. Okay, I don't know why that's pink, but hey. Seems to be working. Seems to be all working. White paint. And then the same for the next one. There we go, that's actually taken a lot less time than I thought it would. Now, pose mode should all work. Holy Christ, it actually worked. There we go. Now comes the painful part, which is animating. Everyone look away. It's not pretty. I'm not good at it. What actually does the animation look like? Check. Do I have it? I don't think I've actually got it. Is it Storm Hammer? Yeah, I figured you weren't paying vigilant attention. It's fairly boring. Yeah, cool. It looks cool. It looks cool what you've done so far. I quite like those deep sea, like the old school, like underwater helmets, the scuba helmets that they used to have. They look pretty cool, and it certainly fits within the within the theme. Where the bloody hell's the storm hammer? There. What have we got? Animation for this. Hopefully nothing ridiculous. It should just be the normal, like, hitting animation. Okay, so he's hitting and, like, raising his hammer, his shielding thing. So what? Rotation scale one. We'll do the one side first. Oh, everyone's gone now. So it's gonna wanna. Fuck. I wanna come up above his head. And then something like, and should animating. Does that look terrible? Does that gonna look terrible? It's not the worst. It could be worse. It very well could be worse. It doesn't take a genius to realize I'm not a particularly good animator. I think this has got to come down further. So this needs to come in further. This needs to go down. It needs to come in further, so it's actually like hitting them like that, like whack. So obviously the timing's pretty rubbish. How do I use this? And then it should return back to the normal position. But in this case, so for the other side, it's just should delete the keyframes that I don't want. And so how does it work? It's like and then as he hits down, as he hits there, he starts like pushing the shield forward. And we'll start. the shield forward, I guess. That doesn't look right. I want to like, I'll move it back to be like, to sort of off the back. We'll move it. That's not the timing's wrong, but that's not actually that bad. A bit faster. It's not. And then it should just sort of reset, I guess. That's how most of them work. And I kind of want it to push forward a bit more, but you know. All of that. So take the first keyframe. And paste it. At the end. I reckon it's the timing. It's got to get. I don't think that's terrible. That's not. That could be worse. The speed is adjustable. I can adjust this, like the overall speed in Unreal, but that could certainly be worse. Yeah, I think that's all right. So what do I want? I want dope sheet action editor. I'll just name this as it. And then we're going to need like an idle. Yes. This is confusing as hell, the animation in Blender. I hate it. But I'm growing on that. Animation's grown on me. That actually looks alright. So we should be able to just export. You see, I'd like to make a duplicate just for the idle pose. But I don't. It might not even need one. It might not need one. We'll see. Re-export Stormhammer FBX. We should be able to chuck that into Unreal now. A new folder for Stormhammer, and import it. Import it with the skeletal mesh. And hope that everything has worked. Should have the hit animation. And it needs enable root motion. And it's actually worked, except this bloody. We calculate the bloody normals as per usual. How is that not connected to that? What's going on there? Thank you. I normally suck at animation, so it's good that it doesn't suck. See, that's not right. There. Should be further in. It should be fixed on the import, re-import. But then this whole section here, I need to recalculate the mesh normals, recalculate outside. Yeah, well, that's the thing with anything is that I haven't put enough time into learning like animation properly to get particularly good at it. You know, like everything, you get better at it over time. Now that should be able to re-import that, and it works. Re-import. There we go. That looks good. See, because if you look at some of like the earlier models I did for the game, they're a lot or somewhat less accurate to the original as the newer ones are. Like personally, like the Stormhammer at least I think is fairly accurate, about as accurate as you can get with without having the original model. Yeah, so you improve over time. Arm selection, you are going to need to add new. See, it's not scope. I need to rename that. Scythe blades. And we can duplicate. And select storm. There we go. That worked. That's not actually spelled right. Stormhammer. And then on-clicked, copy the code here. Thank God I've made it easy to add in new parts. So Stormhammer. Yes, Stormhammer, there we go. And then in the bot itself, and there's a I need to actually add it in here. I need to add a skeletal mesh. Add that to arms. Stormhammer. Then just shrink it down to fit. I can hide all the other parts here because I don't need to see them. So I like the Stormhammers, big and intimidating, formidable. There we go. Yes, the scale. I may end up playing with the scale of some of these because I think like the legs might be slightly too small or certain things. I don't know exactly if the scale's correct, but it'll do for now. At least it works fine. And then and then there was one more thing I had to do, which is in select arms. There's a function called select arms. in the event graph. Where the hell is it? Select arms. And I need to set the visibility of it, because what it is, it sets all the arms to not visible, and then just the one I want to visible. So for the storm hammer, I hate that Unreal does that with the long lists. So for the storm hammer, we need to get storm hammer. And so that should be the model appearing in game at least. So we'll test that. Which is good. Oh, that is big. Maybe too big. I'm not too sure. I may need to adjust the rotation of the and like height of the, I need to adjust that whole thing, but I need to make sure that it never like cuts off. But that's good. Yeah, I think the little legs may be too small, the body might be too big. I'm not too sure. But then for the animation, it should be in. I should already have it open. The animation, I need. It's just play animation and then post anim. It's pretty simple, thank God. So play. Not burnt out. I was for a while, for like a good 2, maybe more months recently, but I'm back on it now, which is good because yeah, there was a good couple of months I think where I just didn't want to work on it for a while. Because if I had worked on it, the new Alpha 2 probably would have been out, but better not to best I guess not to force it. But I've been working on it every day for the last couple of days now. Now there's Stormhammer. Play animation. No idea why Unreal's lagging so much. It's a shame. We want bot. Actually get Stormhammer. No background. You want background music? I'll put something on. Funnily enough, when it comes to actually coding the coding part of it, this is really I know exactly what to do for all of this. When it comes to the actual coding part of it, I prefer silence because it's easy to concentrate. But for this, doesn't matter. So I'll get the hang on, what was it called? I think you should be able to. I guess it's one of the Andreas Helmanzik albums. I don't know how loud that is, but it's a bit loud actually. But he's the guy that did the music for the original, or yeah, his music's in the original game. So I thought it was on the theme at least. That's it. Stormhammer. There we go. And the statistics. I need to add the stats. There we go. Yes, concentration is good. It's it's certainly helpful considering Unreal Engine's logic is about as bad as a 4-year-old. Nothing makes sense, nothing works, and you have to spend 4 hours figuring the simplest stuff out. Which is always fun. That should work. After I've put the stats in, it should work. Melee, Storm Hammer. There we go. It's alien control. It looks like that to me as well, but it makes sense somehow. all this is telling the game what all the stats are. So, you know, like Scarab Blades, which isn't right actually. It should be Scythe Blades. I'd say, you know, weight 5, price 50, or scrap price 50, health 50, all that stuff. So this is all just boring stats. If you really want the spaghetti code, just look at the, where have I got it? In the event graph here. It's a absolute nightmare of stuff just going everywhere. This node looks more like sophisticated range codes. It is somewhat like it's the same visual, like it's visual scripting, so it's in the same vein as Scratch, I guess. I never learned Scratch. I used to do this one. Construct 2 was this. It wasn't exactly like Scratch, but it was basically the same sort of thing, like a 2D engine with that sort of block code editing. Wait, 15. Is that it? Yes, 15.
Save over 50% with 5 nights from $1,199, including unlimited theme park entry to SeaWorld, Warner Brothers Movie World, Wet n Wild.
Why is none of that? Why is it? Okay, this is.
Enjoy over $450 in bonus value, including discounts, vouchers, and more. Valid for stays until 21 June 2024. Buy now and book later with
Need to
available. Visit seaworldresort.com.au.
copy that properly, otherwise none of it's going to work. Oh yeah, and I don't have Spotify Premium, so ads. Yeah, Scratch is a popular one for the programming class at schools because it's simple enough. It's like simple enough for the kids or younger people to understand, but actually still be able to do stuff. Which is it's good. It's certainly not a bad program. It's not I suppose it's technically a programming language, but it's very, very limited in what you can do in Scratch compared to like Unity, Unreal, Godot even. Where the hell is it? Stormhammer. 15 price 130. Yeah, simple enough to be understood by a child, complicated enough to code games in. Which is good. I think, in all fairness, like, outside, like, Unreal Engine's blueprints code, I don't think it's particularly, it's not necessarily more complicated, there's just more of it, so it's more, like, overwhelming. Like, it's not quite as streamlined, if that makes sense, like, but, like, the basic thing is fairly simple, it's just the different nodes that connect to each other. Health. 200. Range, all the ranged parts are, I've set to 100. I think 85 they are in the original, but I don't know what like the unit like conversion is between the Flash ones and Unreal ones, but 100 seems to work. Speed, there's no speed boost. Attack of 110. No, that's 1100. There we go. So the Stormhammer should work. If I've set this system up right, it should. That should just work. Which, if something just works, then I've probably done something wrong. And it actually works. And they collide way too close to each other. I need to fix that. Like, there needs to be some thing that stops them from just, like, backing up onto each other. These are very big. Could probably be a fair bit smaller, actually. Or a little bit smaller, at least. We don't want to go quite that small. I think that's not going to look right. I'll do that for now because otherwise they're just absolutely huge. It's not too bad. The animation looks alright, thankfully. And I've still got to apply, like, put the materials on it so it's not like this bright, wrong yellow colour. Yeah. Is that right now? They're also smacking each other before they, like, as they spawn, and that's not supposed to happen. But, all I have to do is make it so that you can't attack within the first, like, second of being spawned, I guess. So that they don't do that. What's song? What, is this, like, gone off playlist? That's gone off the playlist. YouTube, I guess. I've got YouTube Premium, that. Oh no, I don't have YouTube Premium on this account. Oops. No music, I guess. Peaceful, peaceful silence. What I'm going to do about the... And they should fix them, like, sliding off course as well, is... box collision. I've just got to make this sufficiently wide and tall. So this should be like the, you know, the stopper. Like that should just... Why is that off center? Why is that? It shouldn't be off center. Oh. Oh. See, that's weird. They're not place forked. Percentage-wise, for the game, I'd say about 15 to 15, I guess. Although, if it's like time left, I'd like, it's probably like, oh, I've done a lot more than that because most of what I've done is like all the is just getting everything ready to add in all of the parts and story. So like there's no actual like campaign or it's just a test level and a bunch of parts. So not technically a whole lot, but adding parts is fairly quick. So once I've gotten all of the framework done, it should be much quicker. So I'd say like, yeah, I'd say like 15% technically, but like realistic, it'd be more than that. Yeah, that's once that's what I was saying. Once I fix the framework and bug fix, it's going to be easy, or at least a lot quicker than it has been. Although I mean, recently it's been mainly adding in parts, but the framework for the parts and combat and all that is here. What I haven't done is levels. I haven't got a save system yet, and I haven't any like store system. So it's all just, everything's just unlocked at the moment. It's very sort of still in its testing phase. Oh, that probably isn't blocking, that's the collision's probably not right. Block all dynamic. Yeah, like you said in that there, it's the framework is mostly there. It's mostly working, but there's still a bit to go there, and then it's like there's just an absolute ton of. Okay, yeah, I forgot this happens. Why does what did I do last time? I like put the thingy above. So don't generate overlap, and like put this above any moving parts, I guess. Put this here. That should do something. What am I doing? Is that it's storm hammer. Yeah, and see, I don't know why, but adding that seems to do this. It'll veer everything off course. And I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why. Oh! Okay, why is it attached to that? Let's see if that... If it's not... If it's just loose in the capsule component... I don't know why it's added in attached to the storm hammer. Yeah, so remember, don't drink and drive, and don't drink and operate robots. That's actually how I have done it. Not everything except the road and okay. How it works is everything except the road and this bean here doesn't have a collision. So all of this doesn't have any collision technically. It's the bean. This has an overlap one, or sorry, this yeah, one of them has an overlap one, but that shouldn't do anything. And then this, I'm not sure why, doesn't want to just stay, but it just seems to bugger up the movement. Let's test. Yes, I don't know what. I don't know why that's so. It's doing that. I don't know what I did last time to fix it, because I did have it at one point where it would kind of work. Is there like a way I can turn off like self collision? Because that's what it's doing. And it's not like gravity or anything. It's not like falling. So I'm not entirely sure how that could even have an effect, really. If I parent it to the... See, it's parented capsule. So it should just sort of sit there. I'll make it visible so I can see where it's going. You can test them in Blender. The neon parts, I test them in Blender, but the system, it's different in Unreal. Like, you apply your own materials in Unreal, but like you set it all up in Blender. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Yeah, so like for each where's the heads? For each head part. Oh no, that's not. Yeah, for the head part, as much as you can't see it because it's tiny and whatever. I sit like that. There you go. You can. It's a bit stupid. But yeah, here you've got this. You set all this up in Blender with the materials, and then when you're in Unreal, you just set everything you need to the right color, and the eyed ones being this yellow glow that I set up here. Which works pretty well. I think the other option that they do is like texturing, which I don't do in here, which is that you set it all up in Blender and then import like a texture material. But it's it wouldn't work with the way the game's set up. This is very confusing. Nav area obstacle. None. Does that fix it? It could have been like screwing up the navigation. Which actually makes sense now that I think about it. No, they're still spasming. This is what drugs will do to you, kids. That's weird. Okay, so what collisions can I do? World dynamic. Let's collide with only world dynamic. See if that fixes it. Oh, it has. Yeah, not exactly what happens, but you get the picture. So that's stopping too far away, and I don't know what's going on here. This seems to be some sort of weird conga line. What's going on? And what's going? Yeah, it's way too far in front. So it should stop sort of just sort of at the end of where the hammer comes out to. And I should put one of them at the back as well. Yeah, so they should. I don't know why they don't collide with each other. It's weird. Yeah, see, that's That's alright. And then, so hopefully that's an alright distance for the other one, the storm hammers. Because they are a lot chunkier than they're a lot longer than the industrial hammers. That looks alright, that looks like they're actually hitting each other. And what there's something I've got to figure out, which is that when one has a higher speed than the other, I think what like overpowers one. So I need to figure out how to, like, when it stops moving, or when it is attacking, it doesn't move. It sets the movement to 0, which I do need to figure out. Yeah, you can try and do a body based on the diving gear. It'd be interesting. Yeah, that certainly would be interesting. Send a message in case you didn't hear it. I think you can still hear me. So why have I still got this? I can probably delete this. It's the old main menu, which looks pretty not good compared to the sleek and attractive new main menu. So what was I going to do? I'm going to put the collision here on the back as well. Duplicate. Stick that on the back so that they don't sort of ram up behind as well. Yeah, that worked. And it seems to have stopped the sliding issue. Except now they sort of push each other back sometimes. And I'm not entirely sure. But that should actually be an easy enough fix. That's... I just need to hook up to the... And as much as I hate using event tick... Yeah, it's so you could definitely throw a rock and it would fall apart. Like they looked skinny. They looked like weirdly skinny. I'm not entirely like I don't think I had the scale right on them. The heads were too big. It was not nice. Thank God that never actually made it to an alpha version. That was a placeholder. Yeah, the original alpha menu was this weird, like, 3 computer monitors. I'm not sure what I was going for there. But yeah, definitely going to keep with the original style screen. It's slightly updated, but I'll have, like, the original ones there whenever I've made the parts for them. So I'm going to say... branch. I get melee attack. It's not actually called melee attack. It's got the bloody Henry Stickman build. It's hilarious. I've got the shield arms aren't actually in the game at the moment. I've got them modeled. They were in the game at one point, but I couldn't get the animation to work, so I cut them out before the original alpha, which I'd like to have them. Because all the parts for the Alpha 2 is the ones that are in the the like Division D of the league levels, so it's like every one of those parts. Right, so set. We need to get movement set max. Set max walk speed 0. And if it's false, we need to set max walk speed to whatever speed is. Speed. Although I don't know what is it? Was it speed plus times 4? Begin play. Load bot state. Legs. Did they do it in legs? I don't know where I... And I forgot to do... Did I do that? What? No, I haven't done legs in a while. What am I saying? Where have I got the movement there? Like the movement. I know, but I can't. Hang on, I can't do that because it'll. Will it mark up the ranged bots, having them like stop and start? It might be so quick that you don't notice it. Or it might be really stupid. Okay, I think I've got a solution though. And I've still got to figure out where is it. Bot stats. Is it in bot stats? No. It'll be in begin play somewhere. In begin play. Set max speed. Times 4. Okay, it is times 4. So I can just call that event actually from wherever I had that up. Yeah. Then I can just set max speed. There we go. So what I want to do, I need to have another branch. Because I need to check if get velocity. No. Is it vector? And if this float equals or is less than 0, it should do this. So what should it do? It should... Yeah, that should work, I hope. If not, that'll be mildly annoying. Well, I can't say it's exactly working as I planned, and now I'm realizing why. So how can I do that? I thought it looked cool. It was made by... Who was it made by? Can't remember exactly who it was made by. Cool Cat the Last Drifter. He made it. He said it looked I thought it looked cool and asked if I could put it in the game in like the menu. And yeah. And I don't know where it's going. It actually loops after 30 seconds. It like loops back around, so your guess is as good as mine. It's a bit of hidden lore. A bit of updated hidden lore to discover. There'll be a whole campaign based around it. uh, so that's not going to work if the velocity's got to be less than 0, so that's got to be... Let's just try is attacking. Yeah, like right at the end, there's like a flight log, and it shows you where it's going. You find on some computer. It's actually going to Canada somehow. Where would this game be set? It'd have to be set in. So where's MSU? It's is it Michigan State University? So it's set in Michigan. There's several states that start with M. So Canada could be a viable destination for it. This has done something. Yeah, see, it makes it so that they stop, which is not what I want. So what I did do is I had a part where back on attack here, it would somewhere there was a bit where I would find arm type and act. What does this do? So this says for everything whether or not it's melee or ranged. So what I could do is for here just omit the ranged bots from the from stopping, so it's just the melee ones, which will stop once they're attacking. Which would work. Then I'm going to figure out how to fix the... Whatever, they can't push... Okay, so they wouldn't be able to push forward if the max speed isn't right? I'm not sure. Might also set... Is there a way I can like just harden these and just stop them from moving? Linear dampening. Not linear dampening. Constraints. Ignore radial force applied to this component. Okay, so what's radial force? Because if that's just force, I could try that. Let's just say ignore radial force. What time is it for you, man? Because it's too late for me as well. It's 1:30 in the morning. Yep, can probably should wait for tomorrow. 10:15. Alright, that's... See, that's Yeah, I'm used to, I'm way more used to staying up a lot later than that, but that's definitely late for some people. Stop that. Yeah, get some. See you, man. Get some bloody sleep. Hmm. See, that's a problem. I can't see some of the spawners. Has that fixed it? No, it's not fixed it. See there? Off center. Okay, so it's not. It'd be nice if I could constrain their movement to just left and right and not. Oh, why am I pulling out Blender? So if I constrain. Constraints. Oh, lock position. Lock position along what axis are we on? So what's that? Green. That is the Y axis. So it's going to be Y and blue. So what? The green and blue. So it's Y and. Is it Y? It's the right two there. So lock those. Constrain them so they can't. They should physically be unable to veer off course. Or something ridiculous could happen and it could break entirely. I'm not sure. How are you still veering off course? Like you. That is weird. Hmm. What I could try. See, these things are kind of breaking in at the moment. How can I have it just not, like, just physically not be able to move, like, be blocked? Not sure how that's supposed to work, but so we'll check if it's attacking. Should really check if it's in melee range. What I can do is I can have... So it's a tricky one. Need to Google this one. Well, I'll probably head off. It's 1:30. I'm gonna head to bed now. I guess I'll figure this out next time or tomorrow or whenever you get a chance. It shouldn't. It's not broken. It's not like I can't. It's not like I can't continue without fixing this yet. But I'd like to fix that at some point. So yeah. With no one left in and no one to say anything to, bye. How do I fucking turn this thing off? What's this do? Where does this... Oh, it's there.